You find yourself standing in the middle of your quiet room, staring at a dropped bookmark on the floor, as the world simply gives way. There is no warning. No grand tragedy has occurred. No news has broken. Yet the salt is running down your face and your throat is tight with a grief that feels as ancient as it is unbidden. You reach for the old logic, the mental ruler you used for years to measure if a situation deserved this much feeling, and find the ruler has snapped. The tears are falling because the container is finally, for the first time in your life, full. Welcome to Belmere. Here at Belmere, we gather in moments like this to recognize that the sudden arrival of tears is a sign that you have reached the sacred limit of your own containment. We hold this space as a place where the reliable one is allowed to put down the weight of her stoicism and realize that she has already done enough. For most of your life, you were the architect of a very specific kind of strength. It was a point of pride, the central pillar of who you were. You were the one who could swallow hard and push the rising heat of feeling back down into the silent depths of the body to continue the tasks at hand. You learned to hold a straight face while your insides swayed. There was a quiet dignity in that bracing, a sense of reliability that made you the person everyone else turned to when their own lives felt precarious. You were the stabilizer, the one who stayed dry while everyone else was drowning. But the effort of that holding, the thousands of tiny internal braced muscles required to stay fine, has a cumulative weight. You have been a vessel for decades, catching the disappointments of others and the steady pressure of daily survival. You functioned, and so you assumed you were fine, but fine is heavy when it stacks year after year inside the chest. It becomes a dense layer of silt at the bottom of a lake. Eventually the silt rises. The water overflows because there is simply no more room to hold the weight of the world. Now the tears come differently. They arrive without an invitation. A song on the radio, a particular slant of light on the floor, or a moment of quiet kindness, and your cheeks are wet before you can reach for a tissue. This is a physiological accounting. You are becoming porous. The inner filters that used to automatically numb the pain or the beauty are thinning. Your nervous system is moving closer to the surface. If you sit very still with your tears, you sense the truth. You are simply full. You have reached the end of your capacity to store the emotional sediment of a lifetime. Think of the career shifts you navigated with a fixed smile, the children you raised while your own needs sat on a high shelf, and the parents you tended to. These tears are the final, exhausted exhale of a woman who has spent years being there for everyone else. This season of life acts like the first true week of warm weather after a long, brutal winter. Ice that looked solid for so long begins to crack. Emotions that froze in place years ago, because there was no time to feel them, start to soften. They begin to move. They are finding their way out. When the body reaches this state of ripeness, the dam relaxes. It admits that the work of holding is done. You are finally available to yourself, inhabiting the liquid reality of your life. The heaviness in your limbs is the gravity of your own history making itself known. You are moving through a sacred threshold where the muscles of the jaw and the shoulders are being invited to unlearn the habit of the clench. It is a slow, rhythmic unravelling. You are finding the center of the room. When the pressure to hold finally dissolves, you enter a new inner weather. We call this a devotion to the ordinary. This is the state of the woman who has allowed her tears to do their work and has realized that her value is found in her presence, rather than her performance. Imagine a day in the near future where a crying spell happens, and instead of a rush of shame, there is only a vast, quiet permission. You see yourself standing in your living room as the sun tracks across the floor, the tears falling freely, and you feel a profound sense of physical relief. It feels like the moment after a fever breaks. You are coming together in a way that is honest. You are a woman in her full felt reality. In this climate, you trust your sensitivity as a form of intelligence. You move through your home with a slower, more deliberate rhythm, knowing that you are whole in your very existence. There is a softness in your gaze when you look in the mirror, an acknowledgement that your body is a vessel that has done its job with immense courage and is now being allowed to clear its halls. You notice that when the need to be reliable is traded for the need to be true, a radical clarity remains. The air in your rooms feels lighter. Your breath reaches deeper into your belly, past the places that used to be tight and guarded. You find that you can sit in a wooden chair for 20 minutes doing absolutely nothing, resting in the stillness. The hallway, the study, the garden, these are now sites of your sanctuary. You see the grain of the wood on the side table and feel a sudden sharp gratitude for its sturdiness. You smell the sharp scent of a cut lemon or a nearby candle, and it grounds you. The world is something to be inhabited. You realize that your life is a series of moments to be witnessed. The tears were the water that cleared the path to this ground. When the tears come and the world feels like it is tilting, the mind often tries to fix the feeling. It wants to analyze the grief or solve the external problem. But the body needs a container. It needs to know that while the internal world is liquid, the external world is still solid, predictable, and kind. Enter into a ritual of domestic rest. This is a way of anchoring your spirit back into the physical world through the grace of the ordinary. It is a way of saying to your nervous system, I am home. I am safe. When you feel the aftermath of a crying spell, that specific, shaky, hollowed-out exhaustion, allow yourself to move toward a steady surface, perhaps a small table where you keep a jug of water. Choose only one thing, a single ceramic bowl, perhaps one with a weight that feels substantial in your hands. Pour the water into the bowl slowly. This movement is deliberate. Observe the sound of the water hitting the ceramic and the sensation as the weight of the bowl increases in your palms. Let the water be cool or warm, whatever temperature feels like a quiet invitation for your tired hands. Hold the bowl in both hands. Feel the weight of it. Notice the smooth texture of the glaze under your thumbs and the way the light catches the surface of the water as it nears the rim. This is an act of simple, radical presence. As you hold the bowl, breathe into the space behind your heart. You are a woman in her sanctuary, holding a single bowl. If your mind begins to drift, gently bring your attention back to the physical reality. Feel the weight of the ceramic. Feel your feet making contact with the floor, the pressure of your heels, the way the earth is rising up to meet you. Notice the way the light reflects on the water. A small, quiet mirror of how your emotions move when they are given the space to exist. Stay here for several minutes. Dip your fingers into the water if it feels right. Let the warmth signal to your heart that the storm has passed. You are tending to a single object with the same reverence you might give to a high altar. Because in this moment, this bowl is the altar. It is the evidence of a life that continues, a life that is being cared for by your own hands. When you are ready, take a dry cloth, one that feels soft and familiar, and move with half your usual speed. Feel the fabric as it absorbs the water from your hands and the vessel. Notice the sound of the towel as it moves against the ceramic. This slow, rhythmic repetition is a signal to your body that the emotional flood has found its banks. You are building a bridge from the chaos of feeling back to the steady ground of your life. Take a moment to truly dry the bowl, reaching into the curves and the base. Place it back on its surface with a deliberate, soft sound. Stay there for a moment with your hand still resting near it, the air cool against your skin. This is the practice of arrival. You have felt, you have released, and now you are returning to the sanctuary of the everyday. You are teaching your hands that they are allowed to be soft. You are teaching your mind that you are safe even within the mystery of your tears. You are allowed to move this slowly. This is how you teach the body that it is safe to rest, by finding the holiness in a single quiet moment. The ritual is complete in the single bowl. The power of this practice is in its limitation. You are centering the soul. You are honoring the smallness of the task because in the smallness, you find the freedom from performance. There is only the bowl, the water, and you. The movement of tears is a sign of your life becoming more spacious. It is the sound of the house being aired out after a long, crowded season. Trust the water. Trust the shaky feeling that comes after the weeping, for that shakiness is the feeling of new ground being settled. Trust the stillness that follows, and the way your heart feels a little more hollowed out for the peace that is coming. You have spent a lifetime being the one who held it all together. Now let the world, and your own tears, hold you for a while. There is authority in being a woman who is no longer afraid to feel the full weight of her own existence, and who knows that her existence, just as it is enough. The ordinary is the destination itself. If this helped you find a place to rest within your own tears, please like, share, or subscribe. This is Belmere, a sanctuary for the woman becoming.